Hi, I'm Erica, and this is my engineering story. I chose to be in engineering when I was at the end of high school and I didn't really know what to study. On the one hand, maybe music, on the other hand, maybe engineering. I was talking to my guidance counselor and they said, you know, you're good at math and science, maybe you should study engineering. And they told me that it was hard and I'm not one to back down from a challenge, and I figured, you know, music will always be there, but maybe I want to jump in and get this technical and practical degree. So it wasn't necessarily what I sort of wanted to do, but it felt like the sensible choice to make. But when I got into my program and I got through the schooling and I went into working as an engineer, first in manufacturing and later on in mining, I discovered that it actually really was a great fit for me, and I enjoyed it. It wasn't just a practical decision, but it was also a really good fit for me. And that the warning signs of being an engineer extended way back before that moment at the end of high school where I ticked the box and decided to fill out my university applications for engineering. And so the first one that I can think of goes back to when I was maybe 5 or 6 years old, and I grew up in the country, and after it rained I was always so excited to go outside and play in the puddles and connect them all up in the driveway and make these systems of canals and sort of basically muck around, and I never minded getting dirty. I just loved getting out there and making stuff happen in the world. And fast forward to when I was about 9 years old and it was my turn to put away the dishes. I really did not want to put away the clean dishes, so what I did instead was I designed a system of conveyor belts with a little robot that would load them on, and I thought about how they would need to be unloaded so that they wouldn't break and things. And my parents probably thought I was being very lazy, but I thought I was being creative and efficient and looking for a way to do something better, which is obviously what engineers do a lot of the time. So I was in fact thinking quite a lot like an engineer, even though I didn't know it yet. And the next moment that I can sort of trace back as maybe one of my early warning signs of being an engineer was when I was about 15 and the Michael Jackson video came out called Man in the Mirror. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard this song or seen the video. If you haven't, I encourage you to check it out on YouTube. It's fantastic. And it's a very heartfelt song that talks about some of the suffering and the inequity and injustice in the world. The famine in Ethiopia was going on at the time, and there were these heartbreaking images all over the television of famine and suffering. And I remember thinking, you know, I want to make a difference. I want to be part of the solution in the world, and I don't know how, and I don't know when, but I want to help people, and I want to help take care of the world and help solve some of these big, important human problems. So there's a line in the song about if you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make the change. And so certainly I came to understand as I worked as an engineer the ways that I could make someone's workspace better, the ways that I could protect people from getting injured at their job, and the ways that I could affect people's lives, sometimes in very small ways and sometimes in bigger, broader societal ways. And then the last early warning sign that was starting to inch me toward engineering was when I saw the periodic table for the first time. It was my first chemistry course in grade 11, and I remember seeing it for the first time, all the little squares with the numbers and the letters on them, and just thinking, wow, this is it. This is the stuff that makes up the entire universe that we know about. And this is the answer. All we have to do is put these things together. We can do anything we want. We can solve any problem. So very idealistic thinking at that stage of my life, and really feeling that sense of feeling empowered to make stuff happen. And that hasn't changed as an engineer. I love the fact that I can take a problem and turn ideas around and try things out and look for solutions and make real differences in people's lives. So that's why I love being an engineer.